Welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast hosted by Rhodey and Diz. The boys will share their tall tales of the one that got away, as well as some regular segments they know all you fishing tragics will enjoy.
G'day guys and welcome to episode 166 of All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast. Rhodey, it's great to be here with you, mate.
Dizzy, always good to have a chat, mate. How are you?
Yeah, very good. We've got Marc Berry, who's the president of the Seawolves Dive Club. We're super excited to have a chat with him later in today's episode. He's going to be telling us all about the dive club, some of the dives they've been doing recently. They've gone down and had a look at this artificial reef that's been launched off Wirrina. So he's going to give us a first-hand account while it's still a no fishing zone and get you, all of you keen out there to be ready for the open date so you get around it. Rhodey, let's get into our oranges and lemons though. What is your orange?
Dizzy, I'm making the most of this parental leave I've found myself in. So I've really been living a life of parks and, playgrounds and parenting over the school holidays. Yeah. So I've earned a little trip to the Gold Coast next week, mate.
Because of all of that, you've earned a trip to the Gold Coast, have you?
Yes, I'm taking the kids. It's quick. We're doing, Wet and Wild and all that. So
it sounds good. You got to make the most of that time to be off from work and be able to do little getaways.
The kids are just they're not quite aware of what's going to happen, that they're going to have to sit and watch me go on all the water slides that they're not tall enough to go on.
Yeah. You'll get to the front of the line about, oh, sorry, Lil, you can't come on this one.
Yeah, I'll go, mate.
I'll meet you down the bottom. Oh, dear, fun and games. All right, well, my orange is I'm going fishing this weekend.
Oh, yeah? Where are you going?
Oh, just got to go over to Yorkes, mate.
Did you wait till I was unavailable to go?
No, well, you've been fishing midweek.
Yeah, well...
not all of us can go out on a Tuesday afternoon, mate.
Mate, you can parent on the
boat. Weekend's lined up. Weekend's clear. Couldn't believe it, actually. It was sort of like, I think it was Monday. I said to Millie, we're doing anything next weekend? You know when you get that moment where you're sort of like, oh, gosh, there's nothing on.
And you're like, oh, I'm sure I've missed a birthday party or a work event or something.
That'll ruin my weekend. But anyway, no, good news all around, so I'll go fishing.
Is the weather looking good?
Yeah, great.
Good, nice.
Because last weekend I was going to go because the girls are away on their Barossa extravaganza. We were at home stuck with the kids and I thought, oh, well, better opportunity to take them over to mum and dad's
to let the grandparents parent.
Let the grandparents parent. But the weather was shocking. Anyway, moving right along. What's your lemon?
Dizzy, this time of year the lawn doesn't grow much.
No.
So I took my very heavy Scott Bonner lawnmower to get serviced.
How'd you lift it in the back?
I lifted it and I said, it's bloody heavy, this thing.
Being the stronger and big guy.
So I always lift it and I always comment it's a heavy lawnmower. So what do? I normally chock it in with a bit of wood or something so it can't move around in the back. This time I had about 57 bags of donations to the salvos that I've been collecting in this parental leave.
Yeah.
So the thing couldn't move.
Yeah.
But I went to the salvos first, offloaded all the bags and then forgot to sort of wedge it in so it couldn't move. Went around the first corner, bang, hit the glass everywhere, window smashed.
Oh, nasty.
My heart sank. But this is a good story in the end. I got it fixed within 24 hours and did not pay a cent.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Insurance.
Don't let the insurance company hear this conversation, mate. There could be a bit of insurance fraud going on.
Instant windscreens at Edwardstown. They could be my new favourite company.
Yeah. Are they on the corner of Edward Street and South Road?
Yes.
They've fixed a side mirror for me in the past.
Oh, I couldn't believe how quick it was. They're like, I went in and they're like, yeah, we can fix that. And I was ready to be like, oh, I'm away next week. Can we do it the week after? And he's like, yeah, just bring it in tomorrow. It'll be fine. Had it there for 2 hours and it was done.
Yeah, you think something like that, like have to order in a part or...
Yeah, he did. He said, I'll order it now to be here by tomorrow morning.
Wow, amazing.
I was very impressed.
Unbelievable. Okay, well, yeah. Interesting lemon that finished with an orange.
That tells you a bit about my week, mate.
That was a mandarin.
I am living a good life.
That was a dead set mandarin. All right, my lemon's a genuine lemon. Yeah, look, The kids had hand, foot, and mouth.
Oh, yeah, and my kids go to the same childcare, and your kids gave my kids it.
No, I reckon another kid at that childcare gave it to my kid, which is just seriously like when you get those notifications. There's hand, foot, mouth going. Like, oh, great, that's just ruined my week. So hand, foot, and mouth been horrible. Must say though, the kids have been. Tilda's been just smashing through it. Like she's fine.
Yeah, Riley's got like 3 little dots. He's fine too, but he has got something.
Yeah, what a trooper. All right, good little oranges and lemons. We've sort of dwelled on that one for a little bit. I reckon there'd be a few listeners out there going, get it moving, guys. You've got a fair bit to get through because, of course, we do have a bit of an update. What do you got on what was topping the charts on the social media front?
Oh, Dizzy, you want to know what went absolutely bonkers? I was going to say berserk, but then I went bonkers.
The D-shackle chat.
The D-shackle.
How many people thought that the D-shackle was the shackle that connects the trailer hitch to the car?
Yes, we weren't connecting the trailer to the car. We were connecting the boat to the trailer.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it means in reality, but the boat is actually connected to the trailer on 1, 2, 3, 4 other points of contact. Because there's the winch, there's the boat catch, there's that D-shackle, and then there's 2 straps.
Yeah. I don't think that needs to be load rated.
I actually don't either, but a lot of people were adamant it does. But I think some of them were interpreting it wrong and thought that it was the D-shackle that holds the trailer on to the car.
Be great to get an official ruling on this.
I just don't know who would you contact. Would you contact a copper that does pulls over people and...
Why don't you ask buddy Mark?
Maybe I will. But update on this, Dizzy. I actually stopped in yesterday and bought a load-rated D-shackle just to tick the box.
Wow, there you go. Do you even have a load-rated D-shackle on the...
Yes, I do. I actually checked. Yeah.
On the hitch, the trailer?
Yeah,
right.
That's one of those yellow painted ones, which is load-rated.
Yeah.
I did know, how many kilos of load rating would you need?
I don't know. There would have been somebody that had an idea in the 50,000 comments that we got.
So obviously you need something that's appropriate for your load. So I Googled it, what's a Stabicraft 1850 fish away? And I think it was
1.5 ton?
No, it was under a ton.
Oh.
It was 800 kilos or something. But it did say that's dry weight. So it then said you put on an outboard, you put on fuel, you put on gear. So I got 1,500 kilos.
Yeah.
Weight rated. So I think that's okay.
Yeah. Nice.
So that kicked off, Dizzy. That got well over 100,000 views. That really went viral. And like I say, there was mixed opinions, galv, stainless. A lot of people said it either, but it just has to be weight rated. But like I say, I think some did interpret the question wrong.
Maybe it was just not a clear question.
Well, maybe it was. That could be my bad. Anyway, Diz, we also put up a post yesterday launching our competition, Dizzy. I've been talking this one up for a long time.
Yeah, seriously good.
So we're giving away a Shimano large tackle bag for whoever can submit the best funny fishing story to us by the end of July.
Nice.
And we'll share a few of them on the podcast where we're looking forward to hearing what can go wrong on the water or what's your funny fishing story. And hit us up on Facebook and Instagram. And even better, send them through as a voice memo for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell you what, you're going to go straight to the top of that pack if you send through a voice memo.
Yeah, bonus points for voice memos.
Yeah, good call. All right, Rhodey, let's get into the news.
Rhodey and Diz have been searching far and wide to bring you the latest news across all fishing in the state, and we'll give you the rundown on what you need to know.
Righto, Rhodey, give the listeners what they want. What's topping the charts in the news?
All right, Dizzy, the King George Whiting closure for Southern Yorke Peninsula has ended early.
Happy days.
Which is interesting. It was originally due to end on the 31st of July, but it has opened early, Dizzy.
Wow.
Which is interesting. So now, from 2027, the King George Whiting spawning spatial closure for commercial, recreational and charter fishers will apply from 1 March to 30th of June each year, which is great. We're happy with that, and that was to do with data that they had collected, I believe, Diz.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant, mate. That's great news. Wonderful news all round.
So we're happy with that, aren't we?
Yep, absolutely we are. What else you got?
So On the bottom of this email, it does also remind us that King George whiting in the Gulf of St Vincent and Kangaroo Island fishing zone remains closed, Diz.
Yeah.
But it continues in the Spencer Gulf. And it also mentions that a temporary closure on the commercial take of bloodworms, beachworms and tube worms in the Gulf of St Vincent Kangaroo Island fishing zone will remain in place.
Okay.
Following Sardi's advice that stocks may still be recovering.
Okay.
So I wonder whether that affects the bait industry, Diz.
Yeah, I mean, bloodworms. How many people are actually picking up bloodworms?
They get those like salted bloodworms in the containers.
Yeah, but by comparison,
Yeah, I agree. Not a lot, but a few.
Yeah, I'm sure it has an effect. I'm not saying it won't affect at all, but I think, if there was a statewide ban on cockles, then I think there'd be a fair bit of uproar.
Yeah, but they do that pretty regularly for E. coli. But
Yeah.
that doesn't affect the pros.
Yeah, but then they get those cockles in from the Mekong Delta. And
Oh, don't get your dad started on them. Do not mention that in front of Davo.
get those imported cockles they're horrible things.
Oh, I still think we need to get your dad on this podcast, and that is one of the questions I'm going to ask him.
How do you rate the Mekong Deltas? Okay, let's talk about the temporary ban on the cuttlefish.
Yes, Dizzy, there's a 90-day exclusion zone on all boat tours and recreational water-based activities such as swimming and diving to protect the cuttlefish that have significantly low numbers this year. There are some, but there's not a lot.
Nice.
So boat tours have cancelled their operations for the year, and they are able to get some funding from the government, and it is a zone. You can still dive right at Point Lowly for anyone that's familiar, but you can't dive in that Stony Point area, which is where most of the tours operate.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Nice one. All right. What about some changes in bag limits?
Dizzy, there have been some changes in the bag limits, and I've just lost that here. Hold on, let me get that one up. Let's go on to the next one, Dizzy, and I'll come back to it. Let's talk about the fish measuring stations.
Oh yeah, this has gone up recently, hasn't it?
Yeah, so they've got new signage at different boat ramps across the state. I think the first one to go up was North Haven.
Yeah.
And I actually fished there the other day, Dizzy.
I read that too. So did you see it?
I did. And the interesting thing that I thought, so the idea of them is that they're standardized across the state. Mm-hmm. And they're supposed to be interchangeable, Dizzy. So what happens is you can like pull out a particular sign that's no longer, you get those signs that have been up there for 50,000 years and have out of date information.
Yeah.
So they can update them and they can pull out the sign that's not necessary and replace it with a sign that is necessary. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But my criticism...
Like when the sign went up and said the snapper ban happens and it's this date to this date.
Yeah.
And they needed to change the dates 13 times.
Yeah. Correct. And that's fine. My criticism would have been, if you want my honest opinion...
Well, honesty is the best policy, mate, so we want your honest opinion.
If you were going to put up a sign at North Haven, what would be the first thing that you'd mention?
Oh, I don't know. What would you mention?
I don't know, but I think you'd mention something about the algal bloom changing all the bag limits.
Yeah, right.
No mention of that.
No change in bag limits. Signage.
Is that weird?
Yeah, it's probably like up there with the most topical information right now.
Yeah, I completely would have thought.
Maybe we'll put you in charge of signage at boat ramps. Maybe that's a little niche job for you on parental leave.
I don't think it's hard.
All the boat ramps.
I don't think it's that hard.
Yeah, okay.
All right, Dizzy, let's talk about these crabs. Did you see this at
I
Glenelg?
did. Heaps of crabs. Lots of different species too. Lots of different species. News coming out of Persa after the testing has been done that it's not linked to the algal bloom.
Interesting, isn't it? Really interesting.
That they say, deaths can relate to changes in salinity, oxygen levels and that sort of thing, which, I think the algal bloom has done some of those changes, but obviously they've been testing for the algae in a range of different spaces with very low, if at all, levels. But huge number of crabs washed up. Some very concerned locals.
Certainly was, Dizzy, and there was a lot of, what are they called? I've just lost the word. What are they called? Spider crabs.
Yeah.
Spider crabs. And the testing showed there was 0 Wirrina detected in the water samples from Glenelg. And the government statement said that it was likely to reflect a combination of natural seasonal crab activities and the recent weather, including heavy rainfall, freshwater runoff, large tides, and rough onshore conditions that may have changed nearshore water quality and transported crabs and discarded molt shells onto the beach.
Wow.
What do we make of that?
Well, it's just interesting, isn't it?
Well, I've no doubt that there's going to be a lot of people that are sceptical.
Yeah.
But, make of that what you like, I suppose.
Yep. That's a fair assessment. That's a fair assessment, Rhodey. It's a good news segment.
Happy with that?
Very.
All right,
signage to be improved. Crabs, no good.
Very good.
Let's get into the tackle item of the week.
Now it's time for Rhodey and Diz to really show you what it means to have all the gear with a lot of idea as they review a tackle item of the week.
This is a serious piece of kit that we're talking about in the tackle item of the week. We're talking about the Yondi backpack.
Yes, Dizzy, that is launching this week, I believe.
Shipment landed.
And there's
Hazy's busy getting the orders out.
been some pre-orders, I think, but maybe it's going live officially this week.
Yep.
So what is it, Diz? Alex Hayes is the man behind it.
Yeah.
Firstly, he's an avid fisherman. He absolutely loves it.
And he's an absolute gun too.
He catches heaps of big kingfish.
He knows where the big fish swim.
We always see him fishing. He obviously is on the water a lot.
Yeah.
He caught dolphin fish,
Yes.
Port Augusta.
Yeah.
He catches barrels in the southeast. He's caught plenty of kingfish.
Yeah.
He surfs, he travels, he does it all. And he's put all that knowledge and
You rarely see on
thoughts-
his Instagram page like 5 whiting, do you?
Nah.
Because he doesn't put that on his Instagram page.
But he's put all of his travel, surf, fishing, and he's made the backpack to end all backpacks. Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, it's a serious backpack.
And the idea is it's interchangeable. Is that fair?
Yeah, you
You can put different,
just
like-
hot swap stuff in and out.
I can't remember exactly what he calls them, but they're like little pods
Yeah.
that like buckle on and buckle off, and dry bags and different parts that you can put in and out as you need.
Depending on what sort of adventure you're off to.
Yeah.
You might be going land-based on a big hike and you might want to travel light.
Yeah.
But you also might be doing an overnighter somewhere where you want to load that puppy up.
And it's all got like really heavy duty clips that puts this all together.
Yeah.
And it's all waterproof, and it's the bee's knees, they're calling it. The modular carry system it is, Diz.
Yeah, it's not going to break.
So it's
You can tell that by looking at it.
it's a backpack that you can hook other bits of backpack onto.
Yeah.
Is that
Nice.
the simple solution? And it's heavy duty.
Yeah.
It's made for fishing, traveling, all that.
Yeah. Serious piece of kit. A lot of design, ingenuity gone into it.
And he's told his story a bit of how he's changed it so many times and got samples and fiddled with all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, a bit of product testing.
And he's a bit of a perfectionist.
refinement.
And he's a local guy having a crack at something, Diz. So good on him.
Yeah.
We should get him on the podcast, Diz.
Yeah, we should. We absolutely should. We absolutely should.
All right, that's our tackle item of the week, the Yondi backpack. Diz.
Yeah, well, this guest, as we said at the top of the show, Marc Berry, the president of the Seawolves Dive Club, we are very much looking forward to having a chat with him. Rhodey, let's get him on the line.
Now it's time to get our guest on the line. We'll ask them the all-important 5 questions, then chat all things fishing in SA.
All right, Dizzy, we are joined today by Marc Berry, the president of the Sea Wolves Dive Club. Marc, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Mate, it's great to have you on the show. We absolutely love getting people that do things unique in the fishing sector, and diving is something that a lot of people absolutely get a lot of enjoyment out of. We can't wait to hear about all the diving that you've been up to and everybody that's in the club. But before we do talk about that sort of thing, mate, we're going to rip through the 5 questions that we ask all of our guests. So let's start with tell us about your best fish.
All right. So look, I'm not much of a fisherman. I've done a fair bit of fishing, but it's probably a stretch to call myself a fisherman. But look, my best fish for me, or best fishing, has been probably down off Victoria chasing tuna. A few sessions down there over the years with mates and charters, and it's always great to get onto a nice tuna and have a bit of fun with it.
Very good. That's not a bad fish for someone that says they don't fish, Marc.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Like I said, I'm sure you guys are familiar with it. So it's always a lot of fun.
Very good. Now, tell us your favourite thing about fishing when you do get into it.
Look, really, for me, it's probably family and friends. As I said, not the biggest or keenest fisherman, but what I love is spending time with family and friends, and having a few laughs and maybe a quiet drink and enjoying yourself.
Wonderful, Marc. And mate, what about we ask about first fishing memories and how you got into it, but how did you get into diving, mate, and some of your early memories of diving?
Look, I guess for me, my old man was a diver and was a keen diver. And growing up, we had a family shack down at Waiponga Beach down the Fleurieu Peninsula. So we grew up around the water and we're always, swimming or snorkeling or spearfishing. So that's probably where it started for me. Really having that time growing up around the sea.
And what about your favourite sort of fishing or diving, and why?
Look, these days, probably my favourite fishing is chasing crayfish. We'd get down the southeast a bit, or southern Yorke Peninsula. Again, it's a fine art. I dive with a few guys from the dive club that are seasoned veterans that can put you to shame pretty quick. But there's an art to looping a cray. I'm still working on it, but it is a lot of fun, and it's a skill that takes a bit of luck and takes a bit of time to mark.
Yeah, awesome, mate. And on some of these trips that you've done, either with the club or family and friends, you must have a funny fishing story, or maybe one of those crays that just snuck out of the loop, mate. Tell us about one that might have got away.
Look, I don't know about funniest stories, but one that I guess comes to mind. As I said, growing up down at Waiponga Beach, it was only a few years ago. My kids were young. We used to do a bit of fishing locally, chasing whiting and squid and the likes. I've got 2 young girls, and I remember buying them. Both a little pink Barbie rod, and just laughing at how well the little Barbie rods outperform the more expensive kit. It was always a good laugh with the kids. We had a boat rule. We had to bribe the kids often with a bag of lollies to get them out fishing for the day. We couldn't open the lollies until we caught the first fish. So it wasn't unusual to be one of the girls to be still wanting to fish in and yelling out over her shoulder to get the lollies ready. I got one. So it's good memories and a bit of fun.
You wouldn't want to go fishing with Rhodey, mate. You'd never crack those lollies open. It'd be a very nasty day. No, good fun, mate. Hey, thank you very much for answering those 5 questions. Very good. Now let's get into all things Dive Club. So tell us a bit about the club, mate. Give us an overview.
Yeah, okay. So we're based down at Morphett Vale. We've got a club rooms down at Morphett Vale. Pretty lucky enough to have a bar and a setup. We've got a pretty substantial compressor for airfields. So we're pretty well resourced. down there. We meet once a week on a Tuesday night. Probably got about 100 members these days. So the club's strong and going well. And look, within that 100 members, there's a pretty diverse group of people. We've got some of the veterans that have been doing this for a long time, and some younger people coming through as well. So the joke is it's a drinking club with a dive problem. There's a fair bit of socialising that goes on as well. It's a bunch of like-minded people that love spending time around the sea and dive. We tend to do a lot of trips as well. I guess with the state of local diving or the local waters, there's been more overseas trips or interstate trips, but there's always at least one or two trips in the calendar and things going on.
Very good. Well, sounds like we might have to come have a beer, Diz.
Yeah. We'll certainly be okay. You can dive, but I can't. But I'll certainly be okay at the drinking part.
Look, you're always welcome. Tuesday night from about 7 o'clock, bars open, and there's always someone that'll be there to have a chat with you and swap a story. And
that's every week you meet, do you, Mark?
Yes, mate. Every week we try to get a guest speaker in once a month, and but every week on a Tuesday night.
So it's a pretty it's pretty full on. Like you're quite involved.
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, it's very social. It's a pretty when I say tight knit. There's a big group, but there's always something going on. We have monthly dinners. There's always probably 5 or 6 local trips a year. We tend to do a couple of trips down the southeast. Annual dive on the Hobart wreck out off Wirrina. We also got a wreck off Port Lunga, the Sea Wolf and Lum. So the club was behind the scuttling of the Sea Wolf 24 years ago as a volunteer project. Got a couple of grants and had a boat donated that able to spend some time preparing and jump through the hoops that we needed to do to be able to sink it and add to the artificial reef.
Very good. And how many members has the club got? Did you say that?
Yeah, just over 100 members at the moment. So, as I said, going quite strong.
And we were talking about, I dive a little bit, not a lot, but you were talking about the crayfish. Tell us your biggest cray.
Look, for me, I'm probably sitting in the mid 3 kilos, somewhere thereabouts. But we have a cray board at the club. So the club's been going, I said, nearly 40 years, and there's 40 years of rivalry on this board. So the biggest on the board is a fraction under 6 kilos.
Oh, that is huge.
That's a tractor. That's a big fish. So there's a fair bit of rivalry around that, as you imagine. Everyone wants to get their name on the board, and there's we have to have a few rules and regulations around weigh-ins and the likes. But it's as I said, it's a lot of fun, the rivalry around that and the banter that goes on around it.
All right, now, Mark, one more on the crayfish before we get into a few other things. I put up a post at the start of last crayfishing season when I was about to go out diving myself, asking what sort of nooses people use. Do you prefer to use the long one that you go over the tail with, or the gun-style snare one over the horn?
Yeah, look, the tail loop is preferred for me and most guys. We got one of the guys in the club, Wolfgang, Wolfie. He's actually the patron, the start of the club. He makes his own. So we've got a bit of a club prototype or a patent going on, and most members are using the loop. Length, he does make various lengths, and everyone's got a preference on whether they want a short loop or a long loop, but I think for me, if you loop the tail, you've got yourself a crayfish. That's the preferred option.
Very interesting, because my brother-in-law and his family are very into diving, and they're hardcore gun operators over the horn.
Yeah, I said I think it's horses for courses or what you learn with maybe, I think definitely the preferred within the club would be long loop tail.
Yeah, love it, mate. Now, Mark, tell us about some of those other dives you mentioned. So you have a annual dive that you go with the club out off Wirrina. Tell us about some of the artificial reefs that people can enjoy off the metropolitan coastline.
Yeah. Okay. So look, we have got quite a few reefs, wrecks along the metro coast. For me though, the standout is the Hobart. It's a beast of a wreck. You can dive it a number of times and still not see it all. It's in great condition. Again, it's about 25 years in the water, but it really is in great condition. And I think they did a great job of setting it up when they prepared it for penetration, entry, and access. There's always a source of light when you're diving it, when you're inside it. There's been a fair bit of controversy over the years about the location and why it ended up down there. It is a tough dive in the sense that you've really got to pick your tides. Dodge tide is obviously the best time, so you're trying to get good weather and a dodge tide. But I think that is definitely the standout. Then you come back a bit closer to Adelaide. As I said, we've got the Seawolf and the Lum off of Port Nalunga in about 20 metres of water. Both good wrecks, hold a fair bit of fish at times, and good fun. The Dredge and the Barge off Glenelg. You've got a couple off of Stanback as well. So there's quite a few around the place. There's a couple of older wrecks, North Haven, probably not quite as interesting as some of the previous mentioned wrecks, but there's definitely quite a few options around the place.
All right, now, Mark, tell us about the club's involvement in these artificial reefs that have just been put down recently. Wreckfish have been involved, these concrete structures that have been put in the water, one off Wirrina and one off KI. I understand you guys have maybe dived the Wirrina one and are going to be involved in some of the monitoring going forward.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, we were pretty excited to have a conversation with Wreckfish and Asher around that. We've done a few things in the past together, and I was lucky enough to get invited out to the preparation site before they went down and had a look at them dry, and quite impressed with the design and the layout. There's obviously a significant investment going around it. So yeah, we dived the Wirrina site a couple of weeks ago now, and that's sitting in about 27, 28 metres of water straight off Wirrina. It's an interesting site, but they'd only been down a couple of weeks, maybe 4 weeks when we dived it. So it's starting to hold a lot of crabs, various species of crabs, and a few fish around it. But I guess one of the things that excited me, or was pleasing to see, that it was a really good bottom. A few razorfish, scallops around the place, so a really healthy looking bottom. I'm very optimistic that it's going to be quite the success story, and I think it'll build a good ecosystem around it. So yeah, we're going to go dive it regularly every 2 or 3 months for the next 12 months while it's still a no fish zone. With that, we're taking photos and video. Wreckfish have set up a portal through the iNaturalist website where we will upload photos and video. So if people are interested, they'll be able to track that through the iNaturalist website, or I'm sure Wreckfish will continue to post those photos.
Very good. We'll be sure to keep an eye on that. Is there any, do you survey numbers of fish or number of different species, or it's more you just go down and observe what you see?
Yeah, look, no, we will be continuing to survey the species and the numbers, and that's the iNaturalist website is pretty intelligent. It really came to to its own around the algal bloom. When people were using it for identifying fish, fish kill washed up, it's got some really good intelligence. You can load up a photo of a fish, and 9 times out of 10 it'll give you the species without you having to name it or to identify it. So the software is really good for that. But we will be trying to build some data around it and get some good feedback for Crayfish. We're also working with a group of citizen scientists that have been involved in water sampling and testing over the recent couple of years, and we're going to actually take samples on our regular dives of the site, and just monitor the water for all sorts of reasons, not necessarily just for algal bloom, but for other nutrients and levels, and I think that'll just add to the depth of the survey over the first 12 months.
Yeah, awesome, mate. Now, you did touch on the algal bloom. I'm sure that it's been devastating for, well, I mean the whole state really, but obviously people that are into diving and have seen firsthand the effects that it's had. Can you share with us some of the stories that your members might have seen when they've been diving over recent times and some of those changes, and I guess maybe even more recently about some of the bounce back that's been seen after the devastating impacts that it did have?
Yeah, look, it's obviously been a massive thing for everyone here in South Australia, but I think divers particularly are seeing it firsthand, and not just what's washing up. We're seeing we've seen the devastation on the reefs and the jetties and the likes, and it has been cruel to watch, to be honest. It's been a tough time for most people that are diving locally. That said, I guess we're all quite amazed. We are seeing some regeneration in a number of areas, some areas more than others, and we're seeing some species coming back that we haven't seen. So there's definitely some promising signs. That said, I think it's a very long road before we get back to a level something like pre-algal bloom, but it's promising to see that we're already seeing some positive signs.
Yes, very good. Have you noticed those positive signs? Do you think things are on the improve, or you haven't sort of noticed too much just yet?
No, we are seeing them. There's some species that are coming back. There's some soft corals that we're starting to see that are coming back. Port Noarlunga is probably the most dive site. It's just so easy to access. So the reports we're getting back from our divers are that every time they're diving, most times they're diving, they're seeing something they haven't seen for some time. So little signs and positive signs, little crustaceans, little soft corals, a few more fish coming back, and a bit of colour. I guess one of the hardest things has been, it was described as diving in black and white for a while. The colour was just totally gone, and it was devastated. So starting to see a little bit of colour is absolutely a positive sign, and we're all optimistic that it'll make its way back eventually.
Very good. Well, fingers crossed from a fishing, diving, and just a general life perspective. We hope those improvements continue into the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good. Now, Mark, thank you very much for your time. Before we leave you to enjoy your evening, tell us how should people get involved? You've got a good Facebook page. You're obviously pretty involved in the social media as a club. Is that the best way for people to reach you guys?
Yeah, look, it's a great way to reach out through the Facebook page. But better still, just come down to the club on a Tuesday night, Morphett Vale. The address is on the Facebook page or the website, but it's number 10 Bayford Rise, Morphett Vale. Visitors are always welcome. As I said, on a Tuesday night from about 7 o'clock, bars open. There's always someone ready to have a chat and swap a story. If you're a diver and haven't dived for a while, it's a great opportunity to meet some new potential dive buddies and maybe get yourself back in the water.
Awesome, mate. Thanks again for coming on the show. Appreciate you sharing everything about the club and some of the diving that you've done over your journey, mate. It's been great to have a chat with you, and thanks for everything you do.
Look, fantastic. Appreciate the opportunity and love the show, guys.
All right, Dizzy, that was good to hear all things Seawolves Dive Club, and particularly about that artificial reef that they've been diving on.
Yeah, it was great to have a chat with him, and the dive club sounds like a good time. Every Tuesday, it's a regular meeting for a recreational fishing or diving club, isn't it? Like, more often than not, those clubs that we have might be like we meet once a month.
Yeah, I agree.
So once a week is really good, and for 100 members, and by the sounds of things, they get a good turnout each week. It's impressive. Love that.
All right, we might have to go along. Dizzy, you can go down there as the designated snorkeler.
Yeah, it sounds.
And me and the boys can talk diving.
That sounds good. Let's get into the fishing report.
Rhodey and Diz have been out on the water to bring you the news about where they're biting. Now it's time for the fishing report.
Where are they biting, big guy?
I'll tell you where they're not biting.
They're not biting off North Haven.
They ain't biting off North Haven. I just about didn't lose a bait. It'd be interesting how you go this weekend, because I would say I'm in a pit of fishing form.
Yeah.
I've been no good the last few times I've been out.
It's going to be interesting. Dad's done a few boat upgrades, so there's a strong part of me that feels like we're going to spend most of the weekend trying to work it out.
So he's got the electric motor on. Is that the story?
Yeah, he's got it on. Went the Minn Kota.
He's only been talking about it for 5 years.
He's been talking about it for a while. And he was going to put some zip wakes on too, but there's been a bit of a delay in the zip wakes. So they're coming at a later date. But good times. Can't wait to take it off Marion Bay.
Yeah, I agree. I think whiting fishing will be handy, but I think it'll be a game changer when you normally drift over lumps for nanagai and things like that.
Or it'll be like really good for when you do want to set adrift between two particular points.
Yeah, no, it'll be good. But North Haven was no good. A few people commented that they have been catching fish metro. A few people have said that Northern Metro is no good, Southern Metro is good. So maybe that's where I'll be heading on my next little midweek mission.
Halleck Cove or something?
Yeah, maybe. But It was a bad sign when some guy came up to me at the boat ramp. Nice guy, came up, had a chat, said he loves the podcast, obviously recognised the boat. And he was like, I went out yesterday, tried lots of spots, did no good.
Oh, wow.
And you know when you're like, I'm off to a bad start here?
Did he tell you that before or after you went fishing?
Before.
Oh, no.
So, anyway.
Yeah, well, you were probably just out there to prove the dad was wrong then at that point.
Yeah, and I didn't do that.
You got the monkey off your back at that point, though.
But anyway, no. So, anyway, Diz, that's that. You'll be able to tell us next week how the Yorkes is fishing for whiting. What have you been hearing?
Oh, well, I've been hearing, a good friend of the show, Richard, who took us out fishing on his lovely boat, Man Behind Savage Tackle, he's been cleaning up.
He always catches fish though, doesn't he?
Cleaning up off Port Hughes. And been doing fishing a lot of different places by all accounts. So doing really well on the fishing there. I think York seems to be fishing quite well. We're in the throes of that winter whiting. Outside of that, I've had a few people come down into work and say they've been doing well on the salmon trout on the sort of southern coastline. So they seem to be fishing reasonably well. Obviously, nobody can fish for certain species, squid being one of them. Been a bit quiet on the barrels, Rhodey.
I was just about to say that. Is that there's not there? Or is that they the weather's been no good?
Weather's been pretty bad. Not sure where they're at. Still some remarkable fishing that was done over a solid patch of time. So good fun for everybody who got out there, Rhodey.
It certainly has been, Diz. It certainly has been.
All right, well, that just about wraps up the episode, mate. The listeners know exactly where to find us. You can see everything you want on the Facebook, Instagram. Get around the socials, of course. Send in a voice memo. Like we said, if you send a voice memo, you'll be going straight to the top.
Yeah, funniest fishing stories. Get them in Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah.
We'll share them on the podcast and you might win yourself a Shimano tackle bag.
And you'll want to keep them sort of relatively PG so that we can share them on the fishing page.
Yes. Although, yeah. Keep it PG. Keep the kids happy.
Cheers, guys.
Rhodey and Diz hope you enjoyed today's episode of All the Gear But No Idea. Keep up to date by liking and sharing us on Facebook and Instagram. And you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms. Until next time, good luck fishing.